What up, nerds? It is Travis here with the Nerd Herders, bringing you another thrilling unboxing. This is something that I ordered back in November. It was a Black Friday purchase. Very, very excited. As you all know, we here at Nerd Herders love Star Wars. We love lightsabers. For years, we were buying exclusively from Ultra Sabers, and then we branched off, started buying stuff from Saberforge, and moved on from there to Genesis Custom Sabers. This is a different saber company. It is called Sabertrio. They operate out of Malaysia. They're kind of growing in popularity very, very quickly, and their stuff typically sells out the minute they reopen their shop. I managed to snag this one here. Enough talking, let's move on to the unboxing. I just gotta say right off the bat that this is very different packaging for a lightsaber than I'm used to. It's a very thin, rectangular box. Covered with stickers that say fragile. It was plastic wrapped even. So this has got to be some of the nicer packaging I've ever seen for a lightsaber. Again, different packaging. This kind of opens up almost like suitcase style. And we'll go ahead to second camera here and you can take a look at the way everything is laid out in here. And this is pretty spectacular, I must say. Right on top, there's a really cool, it's almost like a business card. It's got their logo on it. Thank you for your order. That's very cool. Here we have what looks like the wall charger. I believe their sabers come with recharge ports built into the chassis. So there's a wall charger. You've also got a micro USB cable. And they also give you wall adapters because they ship internationally, so they want to be able to accommodate. Take a look at that. A few different adapters there. Now on to the main event. This is especially exciting because this is my very first NeoPixel lightsaber with Crystal Focus 10 soundboard. It's gonna have smooth swing. It's gonna have the scrolling blade effect. So let's go ahead and look at it. Ooh. This is also the first saber I've ever ordered that has a blade plug in it, so that's kind of exciting as well. We'll go ahead and show you right there. This is the Sabertrio Aeryn. You can see that blade plug there, which is really, really cool. It almost feels like it's like spring-loaded in there. I guess it was just barely sitting. It's not secured in there at all. The retention screw has not been tightened, but it was just kind of sitting. Interesting. Looks like the pieces on this are threaded together. I'll get you a little close up there. And this is a NeoPixel blade plug. So even when the saber is powered on, which let's see if the batteries are any good. Okay, double press activates it. Okay, does it?
Primary crystal missing.
Oh, so it won't turn on at all if there isn't a blade or a blade plug in there. That's kind of cool. Very low profile secondary switch there, which is nice. And it's recessed in the hilt, so hopefully as I'm spinning, it's not going to be kicking off any sound effects. I chose this particular hilt, which I'll talk about real quick here. I chose this particular hilt because if you look at it, it's got a thin neck, so it's slightly reminiscent of Obi-Wan Kenobi's or Luke Skywalker's hilt from Return of the Jedi. It's got a really cool all like brass thin neck there. It's got a flanged emitter, which I really like that style. And for comparison, this is my Genesis Custom Sabers Ascend. They're almost like sisters. They're kind of reversed in some ways. Very similar design though. The scale, the Sabertrio Aeryn is a little bit shorter and a little bit thicker. Not Ultra Sabers thick, not a super chunky, beefy hilt, but there's definitely a little bit more girth to it. It's pretty heavy. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it's a little heavier, I suppose, than I had anticipated, which is not a bad thing by any means. This also includes two different hex wrenches, two different sized hex wrenches, and I believe two different sized hex screws in there, retention screws. That is super cool and very thoughtful. That was one of the things when I had ordered my Saberforge I had an issue with, is my saber showed up and there was no retention screw. So I had the saber, I had a blade, but there was no way for me to pop the blade in and secure it at all. I'm going to go ahead and open this up and just see what we're looking at as far as internals. And real quick, there's a look at the pommel. This is the one design area that I'm not super excited about because it's just kind of this open gap. I wish there was like a mesh covering, which I'm sure I could put something together for that, but it just makes me worry about anything getting in there damaging the speaker. And you can actually see the speaker, that super chrome shiny bit there. These hilts are powder coated, they're not anodized. I think I had made a comment about that in one of my Ascend videos. The new Ascend that I have, he no longer powder coats at Genesis Custom Sabers. I love that tactile sort of flat finish on the powder coating, so I think that's really, really nice. Very smooth thread off there. It looks like they put some kind of lithium grease or something on their pommel threads. And I'm not going to pull it out very far, but you can see there's our recharge port. There is our battery. If you flip this around here, you've got USB access to the Crystal Focus 10 soundboard. I don't believe these batteries are meant to be swapped out on the fly. I think you're just meant to recharge them as needed. So it's good to know that they give you pretty easy access to your recharge port. Worth mentioning, the CoverTech wheel on here is metal. That was another complaint. The original Ascend saber that I had a plastic CoverTech wheel on it, so this one having metal is super awesome. So when I put in the blade plug, it lit up red. I'm not sure what that is. I hit the auxiliary switch and it shut off.
Energy critical.
Okay, energy critical. My guess is that means the battery is close to dying. That's probably why it lit up red. But so this being a Crystal Focus 10, it's got smooth swing, which I think is super cool. Again, Crystal Focus 10 has a spectrum mode so you can change your blade color just by rotating, which is super awesome. Select it by clicking. I think you can choose
Spectrum. Blade profile.
blade profile, so like your flicker and like flame effects. Let's go ahead and put in the actual blade. All right, so we got a blade in. I opted for a 32-inch blade. I tend to favor shorter blades. And something worth mentioning, they use parabolic tips, so it is kind of a cross between the round and the pointed. So you can see it's like an egg-shaped, a little more oval, which I love. I think that is the ideal tip shape of a lightsaber blade, instead of just like the dome or that really sharp pointed bullet tip, kind of like they have the sabers in Clone Wars, if you ever watch that show. I think that's great. So before I turn it on, I want to do a size comparison. My Ascend has a 34-inch blade, and it looks like with the blade socket depth, they are pretty much the same exact size. So that's actually going to be nice. It's not going to be too far off of what I'm used to. So for comparison, turn that on. This is a light blue on my Ascend saber.
Energy critical.
And this is a light blue on the NeoPixel. Something that's really neat is the oh god, this is super neat. I feel like a child right now. The blade is naturally brighter because it's full of LEDs. They run all throughout the length of it. I think it's not a dramatic brightness like I was expecting, but the evenness of it, because of LEDs being the whole thing. I shouldn't have touched that. There's always someone who comments like, oh, you shouldn't touch your lightsaber blade. I don't know if it's coming across, but when you do blaster block, it only illuminates a certain part of the blade. This looks so cool. Alright, let's try our spectrum mode now. Ooh, okay, that's neat. I like that a lot. We got, oh my god. The range of colors in your spectrum mode is a lot more significant than standard. I can't find a silver though. Like this isn't like a teal, almost like a Sunrider's Destiny. I think that's probably the closest there would be. But oh, that dark blue looks so good. But let's look at let's go red, Sith. All right.
Spectrum.
Well, and then I want to do blade profiles too. I'm just
Blade
playing around with this.
Blade profiles.
Okay, so we've got a flame blade. That actually looks super cool. Okay, this is that rainbow scrolling blade, which that's actually really neat. I like that. Subtle flicker, rainbow scrolling. I think this is the rain one. There's very subtle fluctuations in the LEDs along the blade there, which in the dark it would probably look 1,000 times better, but that is the flame blade. You've got like orange and green at the base. It scrolls out to red along the tip. This, I believe, is unstable. This is like a fading in and out. This is just kind of a very, I think this is just like your regular flicker. All right, let's keep it regular for now. I want to check out some of these other fonts.
Sound bank selection. Sabertrio.
Fourth edition.
Light. The balance. Darkness. Vengeance.
Kylo Ren.
Vengeance.
Kylo Ren. Anything else?
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, there's our unstable blade. Interesting. All right.
This is General Kenobi. Goodness, you're not one to trifle with, are you?
I love that.
Our guests have
Energy
arrived.
critical.
Ooh, okay. So this is, oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun with this. It feels really, really good in the hand. I was expecting the blade to be unwieldy and heavy. It's not at all. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not as heavy as I was expecting. It almost feels more like a sword, but naturally because the hilt is so much heavier, all that weight is in the back here and it leaves it like pretty well balanced. Oh man, I'm super excited to mess around with this more, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. This is just meant to be a quick unboxing. I love the different shades of green. I'm gonna mess around with these a lot. This is like a Return of the Jedi green, Qui-Gon green. It looks so good! On camera, it looks so good! I'm so excited! Anyways, stay tuned for more lightsaber combat. Aeryn and I have a video we worked on a while ago. I really wish I had been using this for that video. I think that the lighting effects, the camera presence of NeoPixel Blade, it's really second to none. This is as good as it gets without using rotoscoping technology. Oh my god, this thing is so pretty. I love it. Anyways, Sabertrio, I'm very, very happy with this so far.
You're wasting your time.
I really hope that this, lasts me a good long while. It's a very comfortable grip, I have to say. I'm very excited to swing it around and fight with it, test out the durability. A big concern people have with NeoPixel is like the blades, because they have those LEDs, just like the old Master replicas and the current Hasbro Black Series, those individual bulbs tend to burst, tend to break. That's an occupational hazard. You're just going to have to try your best to be smart about how you choreograph your fighting, and obviously don't try to break it, otherwise you're going to. I'm thrilled with this. I am likely going to be buying another one just because I'm so impressed with the fit and the finish. Sabertrio has outstanding customer service. They have regular updates on the status of their order numbers and things like that on their Instagram, their Facebook, and all that. Very upfront, honest, transparent company. And I have to say, I think them having a more limited quantity of designs, and especially such unique designs, I'm terribly excited for where they're going to go in the future. I would really love to see them come out with a curved hilt, just because the Ultra Saber's curved hilt is a joke. The Saberforge curved hilts, I do not like them at all. The Bat Axe is just so hard to get your hands on nowadays. So I'd like to see them take up that as one of their next tasks. I think they would do an outstanding job if this is, it's literally perfect as far as I can see, as far as it feels right now. They are so focused on putting out a quality product, one that they know the owners are not going to have any issues with. I don't know. I couldn't be happier for them as a company and as a customer. I'm thrilled to have my first purchase from them. Can't wait to get another one. This thing is friggin' awesome. If you guys have any lightsabers in your collection, let me know what you got in the comments below. Ultra Sabers was a fun place to start, but I think as I got more into the hobby and as I started filming more videos, I wanted something better quality and then something that was going to last me longer. So I'm still in love with Genesis Custom Sabers. Wow, that felt so light picking that up compared to this. Now I feel that difference. I still love this. The Ascend to me is still very much like my personal hilt. It just kind of resonates with me, but this is super awesome, and I feel like in time it will definitely become my go-to just because it's got some really cool functionality to it. Anyways, let me know what you think about the video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And until next time, stay nerdy.
I have a bad feeling about this. Let the negotiations begin. There's never time to limber